Whenever anyone gets too close to the truth, even if by accident, the elites have to make sure to shut it down. And that's exactly what we saw play out in the case of the Paul Pelosi hammer attack. When all these reports came out that started to not make sense, that maybe Paul Pelosi knew who this was, that Paul Pelosi referred to this person as a friend on a 911 call. And then we heard a bombshell report from the Today Show that Paul Pelosi opened the door for police and in fact went back to stand with the person who eventually attacked him. Well, to no one's surprise, they immediately tried to cover it up. They deleted that report. They tried to scrub it from the internet, but unfortunately the internet is forever. And then a few days later, what did they do? NBC suspends reporter behind mysterious Paul Pelosi story. They do not want the truth to come out. And now a reporter ends up getting suspended simply for running this story. A story, by the way, that has now been confirmed by different sources as well. NBC Bay Area affiliates report on Paul Pelosi attack shares key details with retracted Today report. NBC's Bay Area report includes details that Pelosi opened the door for police and didn't try to leave the house. A new NBC Bay Area report about the assault on Paul Pelosi last month includes several of the same details in NBC News' retracted national report that suggested Pelosi may not have been in immediate danger when police arrived prior to his attack. NBC national correspondent Miguel Almaguer reported on November 4th for Today that the police didn't know they were responding to the Pelosi residence. Pelosi opened the door, but didn't attempt to escape or declare an emergency, and even walked away towards his eventual attacker. And of course, we saw when NBC deleted the report, they said, oh, it didn't meet our standards for accuracy. Yeah, they tried to cover this up. This dude told everybody what actually happened, and now everyone's trying to cover up the truth. And I want you to listen to this. This was the deleted video. Benny Johnson shared this. Breaking, Paul Pelosi opened the door for cops, did not flee or declare emergency, walked back to the attacker, and then was attacked. To remind everybody of what this reporter, who has now been suspended, said about this.
Craig, good morning. When officers arrived here at the Pelosi home exactly a week ago today, they initially didn't have any idea exactly what was going on. They knew they had a high priority call on their hand. What was unclear, what was happening inside the property just behind me.
Ironic that Nancy Pelosi's trending as we're recording this video right now.
This morning, Paul Pelosi is home, back at the house that became a crime scene a week ago today. When officers responded to the high-priority call, they were seemingly unaware they'd been called to the home of the Speaker of the House. After a knock and announce, the front door was opened by Mr. Pelosi. The 82-year-old did not immediately declare an emergency or try to leave his home, but instead began walking several feet back into the foyer toward the assailant and away from police. It's unclear if the 82-year-old was already injured or what his mental state was, say sources. According to court documents, when the officer asked what was going on, defendant smiled and said everything's good. But instantaneously, a struggle ensued as police clearly saw David DePape strike Paul Pelosi in the head with a hammer. After tackling the suspect, officers rushed to Mr. Pelosi, who was...
So that's what we're talking about. This is the report that Paul Pelosi opened the door, seemingly wasn't really a problem, welcomed them in and said, no, there's no issue here, and went and stood by this person who eventually attacked him. What is going on? NBC suspended this guy for revealing the truth. Because what this report says, what he reported weeks ago, about a week and a half ago, something like that, right? They are saying that there's corroborating evidence that supports this now. You have other Bay Area people saying the exact same thing, but this guy gets suspended. It's almost like they're trying to cover something up. Almost like they try to paint this dude as a massive Trump supporter who lives in a gay commune, is a massive communist or something like that. It's so ridiculous, but this is where we're at. The elites will try to stop the truth from coming out. Who knows what happened with Paul Pelosi? We know he's got an alcohol problem. That's pretty evident. Maybe he's got a drug problem too. Maybe there was something more interesting relationship going on. Who knows what these freaks are up to? But one thing is for sure, they don't want the real story getting out. Pretty easy, right? I'm sure there's body cam footage. I'm sure there's stuff like that. but they don't want the public to know, and now they're trying to cover it up. Let me know your thoughts about this in the comments below. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later.